So let's jump into this American Skin.
Who want to go first?
I'm just gonna go in on it. I ain't gonna go in. I feel some type of way, but I felt some type of way. Let me say that. I'm gonna take it back. I felt some type of way, but then I had to think who the director was, Spike Lee, and he makes you feel like that in his movies. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
he provokes, your emotions, because I wasn't expecting all of that in the movie. Like, I wasn't trying to hear none of that shit that the cops and stuff was saying or whatever. Like, I wanted him to go in there and light him up. Like, I wanted him to do more. I wanted him to do more than what he did. But I get it. Like, I get it. And then, spoiler alert, I don't know. At the end, when dude gets shot in the head, like, why did he have to do that? And I got it, like, because that shit still happens. It's still gonna happen. Like, you know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Despite all of that shit.
There's always going to be prejudgment.
Well, not even so. I feel like the thing that I got from it is, as Black people, we know there's no way a Black person is going in there and doing all that and walking out of there alive. We know that it's not going to happen. So I felt like that was true to what would actually happen in real life. We know he wouldn't have never walked out of there alive after doing that.
I liked it though. I like the movie a lot. I like I like the trial portion, even though it was very unrealistic.
Mm-hmm.
I like just the general conversation because I do feel like that's how a lot of cops probably think, even though it's not the right way of
For
thinking.
sure.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
But
and
see, I think that that's that part I liked because it shows you that if um the outcome could be different if these police officers are put on trial amongst a jury of their peers, like citizens are, versus these grand juries, right?
mhm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because you see, if they lay the facts out in front of a jury of their peers, they're gonna be like, no, he's guilty.
Mm-hmm.
So, we don't know what they're saying in those grand when they're in front of them grand juries and stuff. That's why I be
Right.
like, this right here, I think it showed you realistically how the outcome would would differ if that happened.
Yeah,
It just took me on an emotional roller coaster, that
It
movie.
did. It did. It
Ugh.
did. And I was really feeling KJ. KJ, that's the little boy's name in there. His cousin, when the black
yeah.
police officer came to his mom's house, like, that was some real shit. Like,
Telling her
Mhm.
to get on
like,
TV.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Mhm. The only, well, I shouldn't say the only, but the thing that's really stood out as a negative to me is um the son. His name is KJ. His acting was bad.
Yeah, his acting was real bad.
It was?
It was.
Why?
It, it was bad.
But the acting of the other dude was good though. The dude who
He
was doing the
only had a couple
documentary.
parts in it, though. Like, he only had a couple parts. What was bad?
His
It
acting was
was not
bad.
convincing to me.
It seemed like he was going over his lines
Yeah.
when he was talking.
Hmm.
I like the other dude though, the dude who was doing the documentary.
Mm-hmm.
He was
I
good.
thought he played it
He was
good.
on my nerve. He was on my nerves, though, at a point. Him and that girl,
Mm-hmm.
when she started to call 911, I was like, he is not even after you. Why the fuck is you calling the police? Like, you is with them. Like, why are you calling 911? Like,
Because he
so
don't want to
When he
die.
got put on that jury though,
yeah.
he definitely it opened his eyes.
I mean, but the facts are from the movie that though it's systematic. The police are human just like we are, so they should be treated as such. You know what I'm saying? And they are not taught the things that they should be taught. That's why that whole defunding the police thing is really, really important, to because they all need to be trained retrained, and then trained every 2 years or whatever. Like that needs to be put in place to learn how to de-escalate, because there's no way that he should have shot that little boy if he was not racial profiling him. They
Right,
would have
because
never even got pulled over.
and did you notice? Did he robotically say he was in fear for his life, or he thought the boy was? You knew he wasn't armed. You knew the whole time he was not armed, and you shot him anyway. But you went ahead and rode with that whole lie, saying that you
And
thought
they gonna
that
ride
he
with it
was.
to the end. Ride with
And
it to the end. He was speeding, but they didn't even have a number that he was speeding at. Like
yeah, they have
what
a
was this?
reading.
They didn't
And
even have a
the
reading.
big thing was too is that they let him go home instead of doing a statement, like, and so he got to wait for one of his superior officers to come. Like that right there is like you know they're gonna get a story together.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. You got time to get your story together. For sure. For sure. For sure. And that shit happens every day, all the time. It's just fucked up because the way the systems is. Like,
Yeah,
you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? The way the systems is. And all people want is just the right shit. The right shit to be done. That's it.
and then what they don't realize is the mistakes that they make is causing people's lives. So that's the big thing about it. Like you might say it's a mistake and that you just want to go home to your kids, but at the end of the day, they don't even have
Women
their
to go
kids
home
anymore.
too.
You know?
Right.
Hmm.
That's what they fail to realize is we want to go home too. Most of
Right.
us do. Like when you're out here in these streets, I know as far as police officers, you definitely have to be cautious and protect yourself. But the majority of people are not carrying weapons and trying to kill you. Like we just
Yeah.
after this traffic stop, we want to go home too. Or
But then you
Mhm.
get people like the dude who shot that officer down there and McKeesport. That you know what I mean? Then,
mm-hmm.
then it's like it's almost
But
like damned if you do,
but
damned if you
I
don't.
think I think the argument there can be said that that man did not thoroughly check him. That officer didn't thoroughly check him like he should have.
Yeah,
Again,
Because
he
he
didn't
how
do
was
his
he in the back
job.
of how was he in the back of the police car with the whole gun on him?
yeah. But still, like when a cop say he want to go home to his kids,
They going home to their kids. Well, what about the other? What about the other people? We
But
want to go home too. And I just feel like you should not, like, I should not have a fear of the police. And I know I ain't did shit, but I know that they on some bullshit. Like I shouldn't even, you know what I mean? If the police jump behind me for running a light and I see them lights, I'm automatically panicked. Like I'm not
yeah,
illegal. Like I got my license, my car's up to date, but I'm fucking annoyed. Why?
yeah,
I shouldn't be scared. I should not have that fear.
right,
I
right.
feel you on that.
I should not have that fear. Like so it's just it's a break it's a lot of shit that's just like eye opening, and you just got to be careful because people, if the people in power, they try to maintain that power, and then they pass that power down to people who they know is going to maintain that power. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's right or wrong, whether it's the police, the school districts, the justice system, like, you know what I'm saying? It's all of that shit. They all in cahoots. That shit is bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
bullshit. So
I mean, but that even like just makes me think of how were there at least 12 National Guard members who could not serve in Washington D.C. because y'all had evidence that y'all had ties to white supremacists either organizations, or there was something that didn't look right in the investigation that came back that you couldn't do this job?
It's a lot of them.
How?
It's a lot of them. I
So
was just like, out of 25,000, it was only 12. That
Yeah,
wasn't shit.
yeah, exactly.
I don't
That's why I was like,
necessarily
I
believe
wonder if
that
they
either.
just
I just think that the ones that they didn't catch was probably able to hide it better.
Or been there longer or whatever. Like they just caught those 12. It's way more than 12.
Yeah,
Way more.
definitely.
Way more. So
yeah. So, but yeah, back to the movie. I just after I was done, I was like, I really don't know how to feel right now about this.
I was all over the place. I was just like, damn. It was a good
I
movie
really like
though.
Nate Parker in that movie. He did a good job.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? I do want to say shout out to Nate Parker because I'm glad to see him still, getting out there and putting content out there and doing his thing, because I felt like he got a raw deal with the Birth of a Nation.
Yeah,
And so I'm glad he did not let what happened with that movie discourage him, because they tried to do him dirty with that.
Mhm.
definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. And shout out to Spike Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Still
So
provoking movies.
It's not zone on that beat.